insightful conversations on how policies impact our daily lives. Tune into Conversations with RMP as we delve into the critical issues that shape our future.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the latest episode of Conversation with RMP, Policy Edition. I am thrilled to have my co-host today, Jean, who will be joining me today for an insightful discussion during this crucial election season. What's your opinion on both of the candidates?
Well, how I weigh who I'm going to vote for generally has to do with a person that is ethical, a person that is law-abiding, that understands our Constitution. So when I think of that person, I'm thinking about Kamala Harris. Mm-hmm. So, and then you have the other side where you're trying to get the division. You're trying to pit people against each other. It's such a hateful way. That side would be Donald Trump. So for me, that's how I categorize our two opponents right now who are running for the highest position in our government.
What type of influence do you think he has on his followers? Because
they think he's God. They think he's Jesus. I don't understand it. And it's like they say they drank the Kool-Aid. He is nothing but a racist, and the people that go see him are racist. And they have to be, because there's no policies coming out of his mouth, or he steals them from Kamala. He doesn't have a vision. And I actually really do believe that he's like a puppet to some really powerful people. I mean, because what comes out of his mouth is just ridiculous and dangerous.
So I actually want to start talking about some policies. Okay. So we're going to start with healthcare. Let's talk about the Affordable Care Act.
Okay.
Currently, Kamala wants to improve on the ACA, and Donald Trump wants to have it repealed.
Mm-hmm. There's millions and millions of people on, I'm going to call it Obamacare, millions and millions of people. And if you take it away from them, they're not going to have any access to one of the greatest healthcare systems in the world, our country. And people are going to die, and people are dying. So Kamala wants to take care of the elderly, which is important, and she is wanting to have home health care for them. And a lot of people don't have anybody to take care of them. So,
that's true.
We have to take care of each other, and we can't divide each other. So with the Affordable Care Act, that needs to stay in place, it has to stay in place. And she will do that.
Yeah, I do believe that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, climate change.
Yeah.
Donald Trump thinks climate change is a hoax. He thinks, wind give cancer. He thinks all of those things. I mean, I'm just speechless. Just thinking about it, I'm speechless to the fact that we even discussing that topic. And Absolutely. In his mind, he thinks it's...
Well, for me, climate change is real. The polar caps are melting. Trick-or-treating up in New York yesterday, it was almost 85 degrees. At this time, it should be in the 60s and the 50s. Flooding, 100-year flood. They just had one in Spain. 150 people died. Unbelievable waters rushing through their towns. So you can ignore it, but ignoring it is not going to fix it. And we're going to find ourselves in a deeper hole than we already are in. We have to take care of these head on. This is very serious. You could just turn away and not think about it. You can say, it's not my problem, but it is. You have children.
All of our problems.
All of our problems. And, the young people are the ones that are going to suffer. The younger people coming up through today, if you have young children, you have young ladies, young men, they're going to have a big fight on their hands because of the mess or the misinformation given to people on his platform. he is nothing but a liar, a big old liar. And that's all I have to say about him.
Like, for instance, I've met some people, and a lot of people, I think they make certain decisions based on a person. Like, for me, I think voting should be based on policies. What will make your life better? It should not be, oh, I'm voting for this man because, oh, I'm voting for her because.
Right.
Me personally, I feel as if voting is not just for today, but it's for the future. Decisions these politicians make today, actually, we feel it in the future.
Yeah, I mean, it's a clear cut of, you can look at Trump when he put those 3 Supreme Court justices in. They repealed Roe versus Wade. Why are they doing this? Why are they taking a woman's right to do it with her body? Yeah. And that's just a clear fact of him putting them in there and them videoing it and saying, hey, you can't get it. You have to get, at this time. People are dying. I just read an article today. This young lady was afraid to go into the hospital because she's afraid she was going to be arrested. So she ended up dying because she bled out. And this is what's going on in this country. Yeah. We're going backwards instead of forwards, Okay,
let's jump into immigration.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, so what's your thoughts on the whole immigration? Because it was alleged that Donald Trump said, do not pass the bill. He give him something to run on, so on and so forth. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I think it needs to be addressed for sure. But immigration is what has made America great. My grandparents were immigrants. A mass deportation would cost this country trillions of dollars. I just read an article. And for what he wants to do, just in Florida, it would take away 1.1 million people. And I'm going to tell you right now, the 1.1 million people that would be deported have jobs, have been contributing for taxes, go to work every day. What American? I can't even get young Americans to work where I'm at. And where are you going to get people to go out into the fields and work the land? They don't want jobs like that, physical. So I think that immigration, yes, we do need to tighten it, because you have to know who's coming into your country. It's important. My grandparents, when they came in here, they had to show documentation. They had to have a certain amount of money on them. They had to have a sponsor. So there was rules put in place. But today, they just, you don't know who's coming in your country. And I understand that. And that is a scary thing. But you still have to be a humanitarian. And I think Kamala will step ahead and do something that is right for immigration, to tighten it, but yet allow people to come in and have the American dream.
Okay. So we're actually going to continue on this topic. I'm actually have to pay some bills. I do have some sponsors for today's episode. So one of our sponsors is from Island Art.
Welcome to Island Art Publishers and Designs, where creativity comes to life. From captivating book covers that grab attention to seamless printing that brings your ideas to fruition, whether you're an aspiring author or a business in need of striking promotional materials, Island Art is here to turn your vision into reality. Let us help you tell your story to the world and elevate your brand to new heights. Contact Island Art Publishers and Designs today. And let's create something extraordinary together. Visit our Facebook page or call now to secure your spot. So, are you ready to share your story with the world? We are waiting for you.
Okay, on the continuation of immigration, I want to play from the first presidential debate.
What they have done to our country by allowing these millions and millions of people to come into our country, and look at what's happening to the towns all over the United States. And a lot of towns don't want to talk. It's not going to be Aurora or Springfield. A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country, and it's a shame.
What's your thoughts on that?
They're eating the dogs. I mean, that is and people still vote for that. That's what's crazy to me. Like, are you making a conscious effort and going to listen to that man say that? And he calls them and they. He doesn't even think they're people. So it's just crazy. They're eating the cats and the dogs, and he surrounds himself with these conspiracy people, these advisors that are loonier than he is. Noelle, stop. You know, I'm sorry, I had to yell at my dog. Oh, that's fine. I had to yell at my dog, but thank God she's safe from, everybody eating her or whatever, I mean, I never heard such a thing from a president. He was president, believe me, one time, 2016 to 2020, and he didn't do anything. He let hundreds of thousands of people die, from the pandemic. I just read an article about him today. He's billions and billions of dollars in debt.
In debt. Yeah, I did see that.
So, I don't know that, but if you vote for somebody that speaks like that and he gets in, then I'm sorry. The country's not going to be in a good spot.
So the moderator also asked Kamala Harris why it took them so long to secure the border. Listen.
Vice President Harris, you were tasked by President Biden with getting to the root causes of migration from Central America. We know that illegal border crossings reached a record high in the Biden administration. This past June, President Biden imposed tough new asylum restrictions. We know the numbers since then have dropped significantly. But my question to you tonight is, why did the administration wait until 6 months before the election to act? And would you have done anything differently from President Biden on this?
So I'm the only person on this stage who has prosecuted transnational criminal organizations for the trafficking of guns, drugs, and human beings. And let me say that the United States Congress, including some of the most conservative members of the United States Senate, came up with a border security bill which I supported. And that bill would have put 1,500 more border agents on the border to help those folks who are working there right now overtime, trying to do their job. It would have allowed.
So what do you think of her answer?
I love her answer because it's right. He asked them not to pass that bill so he'd have a platform to run on. And that's not a president. That's not an American. You don't slow down the process. You don't slow down progress. You have to keep fighting and helping everybody. So he's putting more pressure on the Border Patrol that is there that now doesn't have those extra 1,500 Border Patrol agents that would have came and helped. So instead of making something easy and smooth, he's making it very hard. And unfortunately, for a person that isn't president right now, and they're listening to him and doing what he says, that's unprecedented. That's not how we run this country. You have to be for the people. You have to be for everybody. You have to be for the ones that vote for Trump, the ones that don't vote for Trump. You have to be for the immigrants that are trying to make a life here and try to fix it. Yeah, things need to be fixed. Absolutely. But you don't do it by dividing us. We're stronger together. We're stronger together. We might not have the same, thoughts, but we're stronger together.
Okay. So I'm going to pay another bill. I have another sponsor for the show. It's from Palmas Dig Bar and Grill. They have a free event on Christmas Day, December 25th at 7 p.m. Right. They're going to have music and drinks, cash bar. It's located in Palmas St. John's, adjacent to Newlow School. So guys, it's a free event. If you doing nothing on Christmas Day, you can go check them out. They have food, drinks on sale.
Nice. Look good.
So I also want to play another video for you from the Madison Square Gardens.
Oh, let's do that.
There's a lot going on. I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico. Okay. All right. Okay. We're getting there. It's absolutely wild to see. And in Texas, stuff is really, really crazy. We're right there by a wide open border. Where are my proud Latinos at tonight? You guys see what I mean? It's wide open. There's so many of them. It's absolutely incredible. Believe it or not, people, I welcome migrants to the United States of America with open arms. And by open arms, I mean like this. It's wild. And these Latinos, they love making babies too. Just know that. They do. They do. There's no pulling out. They don't do that. They come inside, just like they did to our country. Republicans are the party with a good sense of humor.
When is it okay for us to talk about people like that?
It's not okay. And if there was any Spanish people in that audience, I would hope that they got up and walked out, and they haven't had voted yet, so they can vote for Kamala. And you can't tell me that Trump didn't think that guy was going to speak like that. Oh, I don't know him. Or I didn't think he was. Of course you know him. So you're allowing this person to be in your rally, and you're not vetting him? Bullshit. I think it's unacceptable. And Puerto Rico is part of the United States of America, if he didn't know that. And there's a lot of Puerto Ricans in this country. And I hope they go out and vote, and you vote with your conscience, and you vote with the truth, because that man, and don't vote because you want to get rich, because they're not ever going to let you get rich. The gas might go down, the prices in the store, but our economy is running really well. And I think they're making up shit. I think that what you have to do is you also have to put the work in. It's not just voting and sitting back to see what they're going to hand you. It means every American has to keep on, trucking and keep on doing better. And that at Madison Square Garden, I'm from Staten Island. I'm from New York, but it's a different world up there now. And I used to be proud of that island, but not anymore. Not anymore. It's come down to, I think, the color of your skin. And I think they're really upset about it because it's mainly brown-skinned people. Because when my grandparents came here, they would come from Europe, generally white, right? So if you don't see that contrast, and you're Spanish or you're black, and you're going to vote for Trump, how does that go with who you are and your conscience? You just can't do it. And I'm not either one. I'm white, and I can't even believe that somebody of a different race would vote for him.
Yeah. Okay, so let's just move on to the vice president.
Oh, okay.
What's your thoughts on J.D. Vance and Tim Walz?
Well, I think J.D. Vance is really a drag queen at night, but that's fine. But he needs to live his best life if he is, because, embrace it. Don't hide it. I love Wentz. I think he's a middle American white guy that has done a lot for his state. I think that he's going to be a good contrast with Kamala. I think JD is a follower. He said years ago that Trump was Hitler. So I don't know how you can change your mind from 4 years ago to today. He's nuttier even today. But as vice presidents go, a lot of people say, oh, you don't vote for the vice president. But you have to understand something. If something happens to the president, one of these people are going to become the president.
Definitely.
And
definitely.
I would want Wentz on my side on that aspect, not J.D. Vance. That's for sure.
And to see that, J.D. Vance's wife is, she's from immigrant descent. And to see how the party is talking about, people of color. And, for him, I'm wondering, how does he feel? The fact that he don't defend.
Well, he doesn't defend. Yeah, he doesn't defend women or women of color. Yeah. He doesn't defend any of that. And it's sad because how could his wife, that's from India, that he got married in Indian garb, all that stuff, Hindu stuff. And how can she consciously lay down next to that man every night and say, hey, he has my back? How does he have your back? He doesn't even have the people of your country where you came from's back. I mean, this is where it gets ironic, because there's so much irony with this, with the Trump campaign. It's so much angst and so much, like, who wants to live another 4 years like that? I dread, if that man gets in, that I wake up the next day and he's the president, because I'm going to have to hear him whine and cry, and he's going to go after everybody and anybody that he doesn't like. Yeah. I don't want to live in that type of world. My grandparents ran away from that world. My father and my uncles fought in wars so we wouldn't have this, and here we are today. So, history is very important. They try to take it away from you, not teach it, but read the history. You don't want it to repeat.
Mm-hmm. And the fact that, the migrants in Springfield, the fact that JD is actually, take this on, knowing that it's false, and make it into such a huge deal.
Yeah. Because they're liars. Yeah, they're liars, because if you say a lie enough, it becomes truth. That's a saying. You say a lie enough, people who don't have enough sense in their head, they will start believing it. And that's where these Trump MAGA people come from. And they can't even answer the question properly when you ask them. They don't have the answer because they're just following them. You don't follow. We pay the president of the United States. We pay the vice president. They work for everybody. If you're black, white, gay, straight, bi, trans, whatever. There's so many different things now, so I can't get them all in there. But the world is not black and white, and they're trying to make it that way. And, and then that 2025 book of theirs they have it written down as their game plan. Read it, look at it. Are you part of that game plan? Are you in that game plan? I guarantee you the Jews back in the 40s didn't think they were going to get sent to concentration camps. I bet you they didn't, but it happened. And if you think it can't happen here, it can.
So I have another sponsor for the evening.
Let's go.
So another sponsor is from Akila Williams. She has a new book that's out now called From Trauma to Drama, Discovering Strength in Adversity. It's out now on Amazon, Kindle download, and it's also available in bookstores in Grenada. So guys, if you need a copy of her book, please. So Kamala says she's going to cut taxes for more than 100 million working middle-class Americans.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to pass the first ever federal ban on corporate price gouging on food and groceries. She's going to make housing more affordable by building 3 million new homes in her first term. And she's going to be giving Americans up to $25,000 in down payment assistance. What's your thoughts on that?
I think it's great. I hope she can do everything she says, because I think the most important thing is the middle class. Middle class, back in the day, that was what made us strong. We have to build our middle class. We have to have it where people are capable and able to buy their first home, and give them the tools on how to go about it. It's all about educating everybody that, yes, you can have a house. Yes, you can. I'm going to get a break. I'm going to be able to have more money in my pocket. It's not about the corporations getting it and getting all these breaks. Look at all the billionaires. It's just amazes me that they can send all these people up into space for whatever reason they're doing right now. They need to spend the money down here. Elon Musk, why don't you give some money to, they got enough money that you can give everybody in this country $1 million. Why don't you give everybody in the country $1 million? Too top heavy. It's becoming to the point where, yes, it's a struggle, but I think it's getting better. I think the economy is getting better. I think that, we went through the pandemic. You have to understand it'd take a long time to get out of that. I guarantee you, if Trump would have won in 2020, we'd be in such a pit right now. It wouldn't even be funny. So we have to tax the corporations. We have to give the people that are working every day, that get up and grind, and we all get up and grind. And it's about, doing the work. So listen, if you think that you're going to get rich if Trump gets in, you're sadly mistaken. Sadly, they don't want you to get money. They want you to be their puppets. They want you to be their followers. It's Americans. He doesn't want to give California aid because they didn't vote for him in 2020 or 2016. So you're going to let the whole place burn down. We pay taxes. Yeah. We're American taxpayers. So I think on the economy, it has to go with Kamala. He doesn't have a plan. I haven't heard one thing that come out of his mouth.
So I'm actually going to read you his plan. It says impose a sales tax on everyday goods costing families like $4,000 a year. Cut taxes for billionaires and big corporations. He's going to repeal the law that caps the cost of prescription drugs for seniors. And he wants to end the Affordable Care Act.
He wants to screw us. He's screwing. Let me tell you, this guy is all about himself. If he thinks if you think he's going to do it for you, you're sadly mistaken. He wants to destroy us. He really does. I really think he does, because that plan is insane. You're going to take away everything that people have worked for or that need to live a good life. And you're going to give tax breaks to billionaires? They already have it. They already have tax breaks. It's, you have to say to yourself at one point, when is the madness going to stop? And hopefully it stops on November 5th, because I don't want to hear this guy again. This guy has to go. He has to go. And listen, if you voted for him, I don't hate you. I don't. This is my opinion. If you like him, hey, okay. But are you able to do it with a good conscience? Are you able to go in there and vote for him and say he's going to do women's rights and stop the abortion ban? Is he going to go in there and help the little people of this country? Is he going to deport? He's going to deport all immigrants. I believe that. I hope you don't have an accent. He won't even care.
Yeah.
He don't care. So that's my view on him.
So let's go into social issues. So Kamala, she advocated for progressive social issues such as LGBTQ rights, criminal justice reform, and women reproductive rights. Let's talk about that.
So reproductive rights, I mean, that's a no-brainer. If you have a law on a part of a woman's body, then you need to put a law on a part of a man's body. We have to get back and we have to give the rights and the power back to women. We have to believe that she is the person that is of a sane mind, and that she is for everybody, not just this brand. She's for America. And I believe that she's going to be, especially for people that, hey, love women that love women, men that love men. Hey, they have all these different things now. Why do you have to go in people's bedrooms? Yeah. She's for protecting our values. I have a wife. I feel good. I feel safe. But if this man gets in, I wouldn't. I mean, I'm older now, but the younger people, her social issues, I think she's spot on. And I believe that she can really be an ally for the people, and for the people with differences, and also for the people that have disabilities, because Donald Trump wouldn't be for people that have disabilities. I guarantee you.
So, I mean, basically he sent back the abortion rights to the states. And if you notice, most of the Republican states is banning abortion, or like the state that we are in, Florida, is a 6 weeks ban.
Right.
And most people don't know they are pregnant in 6 weeks.
No.
People are dying, for instance, in Georgia, because of this ban, or because of the decision that he made from, the Supreme Court made. To me, it's just common sense that you cannot tell someone what to do with their bodies, or
absolutely.
I mean, I just think there should be, in terms of for gun control. You should do a background check.
Listen,
you should do those little things to make sure the
Yes.
persons are not. I mean, these are just normal things.
Yeah. And licenses, like we have to go to get our license to drive. We have to take a test. We have to take a road test. We got to, for a gun, you don't have to do any of that. I mean, it's an embarrassment, actually, when you think about our country and all the people. Every day I wake up with the news on somebody's either shot somebody up or, especially down here in Florida. I wouldn't go down to Miami. It's getting like, and what's funny is even our governor, DeSantis, doesn't do anything. He doesn't care about anybody that is from Broward and below, because this is where usually the blue votes come from, is Broward big time. He only cares about where he's getting his votes, and that's what's sad. You can't do that. You're for everybody in this state and in this country. So
I actually going to play another video, but this video is I just released a new book.
All right.
Just to show the people.
Great.
It's called Sign Here by me. Check it out.
Looks good, Ray.
Thank you. So, guys, the book is available everywhere on every platform: Barnes and Nobles, Amazon. It's not a 50+ online bookstores. You know, this book, I love this book because, you know, as a notary public and an entrepreneur myself, I have you know, put so much information in there to really guide the existing and the new notary public. So, guys, grab a copy. You're gonna love it. You're gonna fall in love with it.
Definitely.
So
a lot of information.
Yes. So let's talk about our local Senate race. Rick Scott and Miss Powell. What's your opinion on both of them?
Well, I didn't really know much about what's her name? Powell. Yeah, I didn't know much about her, but like she ran against him, I guess 4 years ago, and she lost. But I think she's stronger now. I'm not a fan of Rick Scott. I think he is a thief. I think he's pled the fifth on stand hundreds of times, not answering questions. They're all about deflecting and not taking ownership. You have to have somebody that's going to take ownership and do something for our state. I believe that will be her for sure.
Okay. So I'm going to play a video from her. With the news talking about both of them.
In addition to Texas, Democrats are making a play to try to flip a Senate seat in Florida, Donald Trump's home state, of course. It's an uphill battle for Democrat Debbie McCarcel-Powell. She's a congresswoman. She's taken on Republican U.S. Senator, former governor of Florida, Rick Scott. Democrats hope that they will get a big assist from two ballot measures, one to enshrine abortion rights, the other to legalize recreational marijuana. That could drive turnout. Joining me now is Democratic candidate for the Senate in Florida, former Congresswoman Debbie McCarcel-Powell. And we just want to mention, of course, we've reached out to both Rick Scott and Ted Cruz campaigns, and we would welcome an interview with those candidates at any time.
So what do you think about the marijuana? Like Floridians are actually going to vote to legalize marijuana.
Well, I hope we get 60% of people in Florida that does it, because we need 60% to pass it. Yeah. I feel as though there's a lot of people in jail that shouldn't be in jail because of a joint. I think it'd be better. It will be monitored. You won't get any fentanyl or anything.
Yeah.
They're saying, oh, they're going to smoke them in the restaurants. They're going to be smoking everywhere. You can't even smoke in restaurants now. I don't think people are going to be walking down the street. They'll be in their homes. And if they're not, then they'll be outside. You might smell it. I smell it now and it's not legal. So why don't you make some money off of it? Colorado did, and they made a lot of money. They took them out of debt. So, I voted yes, that I'd like to have it legalized for sure.
And what's about the abortion issue?
We have to take that off we have to fight it and not have this pushed in our face that shouldn't be, that was passed 50 something years ago, that we could have take control of a woman's body. Why do you want to take it back? Why? Because you don't believe in abortion? Is it your religion? Fine. But if it's my decision, it's my decision. And it's a hard decision. I don't think it's an easy decision. I saw Stevie Nicks on TV. If you don't know who Stevie Nicks is, she's a singer. She played with Fleetwood Mac. She said she had an abortion because she was a Fleetwood Mac, only 3 years out. And she said, if I had a kid, I didn't want to put the pressure on it. I have to leave now, or I have to go. So she felt as though she couldn't be a good mom then. Mm-hmm. So she had to make that decision to have an abortion. That was her decision. And I don't know why it's anybody else's, but the woman's. Unless we do something, why men get a vasectomy until they are capable or want to have kids? Why does it have to be all on the woman?
For me, it's something I don't understand is, why do men feel they need to make certain decision for women? I just think, women are quite capable. And I think, they don't give women enough credit.
It's called power. It's like rape. Rape is nothing about sex. It's all about the power. And I think it's the same now. Maybe they're feeling uncomfortable. Women are rising up. They're getting positions that men usually have. They're getting considered for positions that men usually have. It hits the male ego. Men just need to start feeling confident about themselves and be able to be with a strong woman that is capable of going out there and making the right decisions and having your best interest at hand. It's not, and it's like the president is going to have all these people around her to try and give her, her advisors. It doesn't take one person you need advisors, and then you have to pass it, and then you have to go to the Senate or the Congress. There's a lot of components to the government. It's just not that one man or that one woman. So we have to really think about it, and is Trump capable of going, if he does win, going in and just dismantling the whole system? I don't know if he has the power to do that, or if there's somebody that can stop him. But you got to think about that. Think about your freedoms, because once they start taking one away, they'll start taking more away.
Yeah. So we are actually at the end of the program, and I want to thank you so much.
Vote blue.
So good to talk to you. So
you too.
For the people who are looking at this now and have not made a decision, what advice would you give to them? You're
right as a citizen. Just make sure you're voting not just for yourself, but for everybody else's freedoms, because everybody else's freedoms are on the line. It's not about the color of your skin. It's not about, it's all about being all right with your vote, and you listen to your conscience, because it's a big deal. So let's just do this. Let's do this, because we can't go back. I won't go back. I'm not going back. Not going back.
So, guys, I want to say thank you again for joining us today.
Everybody. Thanks,
and also, just know, Conversation with RMP Season 2 is going to be starting in November. This is our promo video. So, guys, please look out for it. Thank you, guys.